This is Smith Welding. I'm Adam Niffen. I'm your host. Stroll around the shop with us. Check out what we got in here today. It's always fun and interesting. Morning, folks. Smith Welding Restoration. You know the drill. Alright, so this is what we got going on. I think you can call it dawning of a new era for our shop, alright? The Monte Carlo, no matter what, gets a show quality paint job. Monte Carlo might go to something like Good Guys, a lot of small local car shows. That's what these folks live for. That's their summertime fun, okay? This couple, that's what they spend their time and money on, and I commend anybody for it. And another thing, something I stated, I think over a year ago, check your attitude at the door. I've had a pretty coarse attitude as of late. It's really been a rough road, alright? I know what I want to accomplish, I know what I'm aiming for, and it always seems just out of reach. I got goals, I got a plan, I'm following that plan to those goals, step by step, move by move. The shop is following those plans to the goal. My partner and I have differing opinions on certain facets and aspects. That is exactly what we want, okay? We don't want, if you're in a partnership with someone, you don't want a pushover. You don't want someone that will cow down to whatever you say. They're going to go out and find their own answer, or they're going to have their own prospect of what is the desired goal. So that's perfect. It's a good, healthy partnership. Be it professional or intimate, really, in this world. So we're getting away from, quite frankly, we're getting away from the bullshit. We're getting away from scuff, shoot, mediocre, not how well, but how much. Stuff that's really hurt my passion for what I'm doing, for sure. Something that's really held us back from bigger and greater things. So I'm going to introduce to you the subject at hand. This is the beauty. The gentleman who owns it, God, I hope he doesn't mind me dropping his name, fellow named Matt Davis, who owns it. He bought the car in much the condition you see it. It's single stage red, and it looks pretty good, okay? I mean, look it over once. It looks pretty good. But as you get into it, it doesn't have a high gloss show car sheen. That's our job. And I got tape everywhere. It's rough in here. We got a ripple in the sail panel. We got an issue with this expansion gap that needs cleaned up. And I believe there's a crack actually in the body filler there. It's one of those areas that shouldn't have a lot of body filler. It's real rough down here. So we're going to prep this car off. We're going to pull the minimum amount of hardware. The bumpers are certainly coming off because these fillers need to be painted correctly. We didn't have to. I could have probably weasel twatted my way around it. We're not. This is high quality, good production. It's a scrub and shoot, but it's more than a scrub and shoot. We're going to realign some things because our hood is really wonky. It's not awful. I mean, it shuts and closes, but see, it's low here, gap's tighter here, and up there. We may have to move the thinners around a little. This is just running my hands. There's a divot right there. I don't know if it was trash under the paint, what it was. Anyhow, This is going to get blocked out with a 600 grit. We'll wipe it down with wax and grease remover, get all the wax off of it, because this man takes care of his cars. There's been too many projects. Oh, this isn't a show finish. Oh, this is what they get because this is what they bought. Oh, this is. Well, folks, come in. Open up your pocketbook. Give us a budget we can do something fabulous with. This is the bare bones situation, but he gave us exactly what we needed to get what he wanted. We're gonna get 80% of the flaws that I can see, that Jeremy can see, taken care of, which in turn means we're gonna get probably 90% of the flaws the owner sees and has fault with, which in turn means we'll get everything the public eye will catch. We're gonna give him a nice show finish. It's going to get knocked down to 600. We're going to give it a couple full coats of base. We're going to put 3 full coats of wet. We're going to stay off all of our edges and ridges. We're going to wet sand the hell out of it. And we're going to start wet sanding this with, if we have a trouble spot where we get a dry spray somehow, we'll start it down at 600, knock it flat. We'll definitely start with, no less aggressive than 1500. And we're going to bring it up to at least 2000 and may even machine polish it with a good 3000 grit pad. May is a very dynamic word, I suppose, but this is where we get to show where we're going and why, okay? Stick around, check this out. This will be a fast-paced project, but not a quickie. It'll be a fast-paced project because the budget we have to work with is exactly what we need. But you go time wasting, well, it's time wasting, you know what I mean? We don't need that. Everybody's on the same page here. I came in this morning at 5:30 to document, get the pictures, and I got a couple other things on, 2 other projects floating around the shop I need to take care of. We're going to kick its ass. You guys are going to watch, and the owner's going to love it. Alright, so you can see we got it prepped off. Wheels are covered. We're going to go ahead and cover the inner fender wells and under the rockers and everything to avoid overspray after we push it in the booth. Which we will be isolating that area tomorrow. Wet sanding, it's a jitterbug with 600 on it. That'll smooth out those broad flat panels a lot better than a little hand block. Okay. Turns out, yes, this is in fact a base clear job. It just has a lot of trash and a lot of imperfections that we're addressing. So how bad is it so far, Jeremy?
It's not bad. Get up on it, start looking at it, there's a lot of texture, a lot of trash in it. If you're 10 feet away, driving down the street or whatever, you have to see it. But
especially the way Matt drives his car.
Right.
What are you using? What are you grinding on it with?
320 pad with the interface.
Like a fresh pad or?
No, used, little dollar. Closer to a 600 would be best, but what I got.
Yep. So then we're going to go over this with 600 when we're done. That way everything's the same.
Keep following me with the 600 on the jitterbug.
So that's aggressively tearing it down.
Yeah.
You see here. That's going to aggressively tear it down. That DA you've got, and then what John's following you with is obviously what we want to paint on.
Yeah. So we should be doing pretty good.
Cool. Cool. I did a few test spots this morning, see where we're at, and help get the strip down done. I've kind of been dealing with finding parts for other projects, and I guess they call it working on your business rather in your business. Jeremy and John have got it well in hand. I don't know if I showed you this, okay? This is what we started there with that little tent, okay? You can't fit a car in that. Our booth is gonna be 9 feet tall, about 15 feet wide because of the window, and then 24 feet deep. So we'll be able to fit a car like this in there and walk around it no problem. So for right now, we've got a basic structure up. You know, this is all pieces and parts. We build it as we get a little money or we come into some material. Matt Davis gifted us with some material today, stuff that he came up with at random. We said God bless and thank you and moved on. That is not getting painted in the general shop though. Any conditions that I'm willing to shoot a car in are far better than what conditions that Chevelle was shot in originally. But we want that showroom, show car shine and gloss, you know, the Mercedes mirror finish type of shit, all right? Stuff you see at the car shows. Beast. Now, that being said, we're not shooting that in the open shop. That's why we started stacking up whatever material we had. That wall will be solid through eventually. We're gonna go get some more 2x4s that'll stretch the top so we can put kind of a lid on it, as it were. And we're gonna stretch some 6mm plastic. Set up our ventilation and fan and filters in and out for air. It's not gonna get 100% of everything, but no booth does. The goal is to get enough airflow through that booth that the particles just stay suspended in air. We will ground the car when we paint it so there's no static electricity. We're moving up. Have a plan, stick to it. Talk to you guys later. Spent the morning getting stripped and prepped. Now, we're wet sanding the hell out of it. Marks, there's no crash. What we're doing is Jeremy's on the DA 320, worn out 320, and just shows you that. He's knocking everything down real quick. We're using that almost like a line file, really. It's flattening all these panels out nicely. Come through these areas that are trouble areas for machines, and I'm hand sanding all this shit, okay? I'll hand sand this whole thing. I haven't done it yet, but I'll hand sand this whole thing. You can see how unacceptable that is. These are the things that drive our owner mad. These are the things we're getting rid of for our owner. We got one little ding in the middle of the roof somewhere. We've got where a wrench came out and smacked the quarter panel. Those are both areas to be addressed. I'm gonna have to come in here with a hand block, soft hand block, and get all that knocked down. After this, you'll see us, we'll wash it down properly, and we will inspect it actually with a handheld drop light. Inspect every inch of the car, make sure there's no pinholes, no imperfections left in the surface of the car.
spot sealer. We'll wet sand all that down. We're about ready to put her in the booth after that.